We got us the Heretic Gramerye Pale Ale at 4.4% alcohol by volume. This one's out of Fairfield, California, from the Heretic Brewing Company. And it is a 2012 GABF Gold Medal Rye Beer winner. So, not a lot of information on hops or malts or whatever. They just mention the rye. So let's give this... Whoa! Yikes. Another pour. Okay, so I apologize for that ridiculously slow pour. But this beer is fucking ludicrously carbonated. And I'm not a big fan of overly carbonated beer. Some beers are better than others over carbonated, obviously. For most people's opinions, I would assume. For mine, anyway, and a lot of... Bottle conditioned pale ales, I don't mind a bit of carbonation, but this, like, if I poured it any faster than that, there's a bit of a mug of foam with that much beer in the bottom, because that's what my last pour was like. But, so the head's growing, like ice cream float type head. Again, in case you missed it, that's what the carbonation looks like. Got kind of a coppery toffee caramel looking coloration. Yeah, wasn't sure whether this was an English style or American style or what was going on, so I got it colder than I drink an English pale ale, but I think I got it at the right temperature for what it is. Off the aroma, we're getting a very peachy, orange, yeasty, bready. I think that's just peach, like major stone fruit out of this one. A lot of alpha acids there, because you gotta like gnaw through this fucking head on this beer. Yeah, definitely a pronounced bittering hop that kind of drifted up into the head there, for sure. That was some kind of serious bittering hop. Just right there, that's what that was. It smells a little bit like fish. It's a little better, it's a little bit less on the carbonation. Okay, with lesser carbonation, this beer would be fabulous. I mean, if you're into a 4.4% pale ale. I don't drink a lot of low ABV beers. And so I thought this might be, you know, something to try. It was less money than their bigger beers. We had access to about 3 of these from Heretic, so I thought I'd try this one. And I think I'm personally not a huge fan of beer that's under 5%. You know, for the most part. So I'm kind of expecting an alcohol kick, and where you kind of get that alcohol kick, I'm kind of just getting juicy, hoppy pale malt. Not like there's no alcohol to kind of you know, to do it. You know what I mean? But very light compared to what I'm used to. Malt is hoppy. Like these ball conditioned pale ales are kind of like kind of separate. I'm talking about my ass maybe, but it feels like you kind of taste the hops a bit separately from the malt, and the carbonation is the dividing factor through the middle or something. If that makes any sense. It's like I'm getting hops and then I'm getting malt over here. It's really weird. And there's just too much fucking carbonation in here. I mean, what am I supposed to do with this? It's like drinking air. Like you take a drink and it just explodes into fucking carbon dioxide. I'm drinking foam. Because as it splashes in your mouth, you're just all this foam. I'm gonna be burping like a fucking fool, like in 2 seconds. Like this is fucked. Like when a beer looks like that, I'm like, fuck that. That's too much. That is too much. Too much. Like that's like a homebrew gone wrong. That's overprimed. I can't condone that kind of shit. Hey, look at it. That's fucked. Maybe you like beers that are like super carbonated, but if you don't, if you're like me and like 90% of everybody else, or 98% of everybody else, that's too much fucking carbonation. I like the stone fruit in here, but really, I'm not that impressed with this one. I like low carb fucking beers. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be like that. It smells great. The hops smell great. The malt characteristics smell pretty good. If it wasn't for that fucking carbonation, it would probably be a pretty decent beer. I'm getting tropical vibes, stone fruit vibes. I'm getting almost like Pilsner type flavors out of it. Like Pilsner hop type flavors. I'm getting almost like New Zealand type flavors out of the hops a bit. But it's kind of I can't really taste the beer because it's so fucking carbonated. I can't even hardly taste it. It's just explosion of CO2. So this may be just this batch. So if you've had the Gramerye, let me know if yours look like this. You know, that's just too much. Too much fucking carbonation. Like you can't even take big drinks. I'm starting to get a bit of grapefruit rind, but there's still a big pronounced sweeter flavored hop like peaches and orange. Bit of grapefruit up front. That's probably come from the bittering hop they use. I'm sorry I'm dragging this out. I'm just reaming this beer out because okay, it was like $7. $7-ish. And for a 4.4 bomber, so that's, you know, that's as much as I want to pay for a 4.4 beer. But then, I don't know, like why, it could be a mistake. It could be a mistake. There's not a, didn't look like a whole ton of yeast there in the bottom. Anyway, because of the carbonation, I can only give this beer a 7 out of 11. Yeah, which is pretty low for me for a decent craft beer. I can taste the quality. I can taste it. It would be good. But I can't drink this. I'm drinking it, but I'm feeling bloated and shit, and this is only a 4.4% beer. That's the opposite effect I want out of it. So 7 out of 11. I hope that they don't prime their bottles this way. I would hope that's just like a one-time thing. Because apparently their other beers are supposed to be fucking incredible. So, I'll visit some of their higher ABV beers and hopefully I don't end up like that fucking guy on Monty Python, The Meaning of Life. You know, give him the wafer. And I'm out. Yeah.